All right, here's what I got on the record lights. Like I was saying, I think it would be cool to 3D print them. I basically drew a vinyl record that was exactly the dimensions of a vinyl record, and then scaled it up from a 1 foot diameter, which is it's like 11 3/4 for a standard record, and I scaled it up to 2 feet. So this thickness, which would have been a little bit more than a 16th for a standard record, is now a little bit more than an eighth. Anyway, you get the idea. And then I basically stacked that up and turned it into, well, I can turn one of these off and show you a cross section like that. There's a cross section of what I'm thinking I would 3D print. And then I would use the aluminum top here as two things. It would bolt into this plastic sidewall, and I would, because it's aluminum, I can polish the underside of it, which helps reflect light. Um, so I sectioned this first one off into exactly sections that will fit in my 3D printer, and that's how I'm thinking I would tackle this. Um, I got a glass bottom in here. I can turn the glass off because it's clear. It doesn't make, it doesn't show up very well, but you get the idea. And then I use the same dimensions for the center of a record, for the center of the light. I think that's where we'll hide all the electronics. I figure you guys will use LEDs. I don't know. We didn't really talk about it, but I plan on like LED strips sitting in this groove in here, and then reflecting off of the back of this thing, and you can hide the electronics in this cavity inside of this hub here. And then when we're all done, we'll do that printed vinyl to make it look like a record, and hopefully we can have some fun and actually, find some records, scale them up to the different sizes. Maybe that looks ridiculous on an 8 footer, maybe not. But if we can find some cool records that were, pivotal stuff or whatever, we could scale that up and make a vinyl sticker, and make, print it on something translucent and really make something that looks like a record. So if this is the direction you want to go, let me know. Also, if I was doing an 8 foot diameter one, I would still scale it up, which would mean these grooves on the sides are much bigger. But I think for scale's sake, it looks right. Also, it's a much thicker light. This first one, I believe you gave me some dimensions in the scan that you did, or the STL file. But the 2 foot diameter one is 3 inches thick, and the 8 foot diameter one is 12 inches thick. So if that's an issue, I'll just take some height out of it. But that's how I think I would accomplish what you're asking for. um, Again, just let me know what you think, and we'll go from there. I'm not sure if I plan on the standard 3/8 hole for the where the wiring comes through on most lights. Is that tube with threads in it? Anyway, I figured we'd use standard light fixture stuff. More bolts to hold that center piece. And then instead of grooving the Lexan, I just want to glue it. I think you'll have enough surface area between this edge and this inner edge that I don't have to, it'd be much easier and cheaper to just, you know, cut some 1/8 inch Lexan on the water jet and then glue it into place. And with the back being removable, that should be just fine. So anyway, let me know what you guys think. I'll talk to you soon.